Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. You guys may be wondering, Jay, you've been rather critical of Nigel Farage and his stance on Tommy Robinson. So why in the world are you making a video supporting him in this regard? Well, yes, I disagree with his stance on Tommy Robinson. And yes, I think it's going to do him a lot of harm in the next election. But does that mean that I'm going to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say that he's all bad? No, it does not. Does it mean that he needs to have a change of heart and a change of tune when it comes to Tommy Robinson? 100%. I definitely believe that he needs to have a change of heart and they need to come together. And look, if it can happen in the US with RFK, who said that he's never going to join with Trump, and for the sake of the country, if they can come together in the US, maybe it's because Farage is close with Trump and he was close with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk has since distanced himself because of Tommy Robinson. But if it can happen in the US, it can definitely happen in the UK. If people are willing to just put aside their pride for 1 second and for the sake of trying to defend and protect the UK, because at the moment, the UK has fallen so far to radical leftist ideology. The immigration crisis at the moment over there is insane. You have so many immigrants that are flooding into the UK because they've got a open border policy, as it would seem, and Keir Starmer is doing absolutely nothing about it. And the reason why Nigel Farage and his Reform UK party are gaining the traction that they are is because of Nigel's stance on immigration, illegal immigration. You can't open your borders because what's the point of having a border if you're going to let people in willy-nilly and freely? Like, come on in. You don't have a border then at all. Like, a point of the border is to stop people illegally entering into your country. You got to have a process of whereby you can enter the country legally like everybody else that came into the country legally. Now, the woke leftist dingbat types, which the BBC is fantastic about, they have this stance on immigration saying, oh, we need immigrants. They provide us so many resources and so many services. What are we going to do without all the illegal immigrants that are working so bloody hard? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do with those illegal immigrants. Your crime rate won't be up so high. Your housing market won't be so hard for you to actually find a place to live because they're giving the houses over to the illegal immigrants, I'll have you know. And maybe you may feel a little bit safer to walk around the streets. Ever thought about that? But the woke leftist dingbat types that are so naive and so ignorant. Well, I don't even think they're naive. I just think they're really dumb and ignorant. They seem to think that they know everything under the sun. They try and get like these gotcha moments, especially when it comes to Nigel Farage. So Nigel decides to, which I think is great, by the way, decides to go on the BBC, a program on the BBC, right? And, well, you have this audience of very biased, left-leaning dingbats, right? Very left-leaning dingbats. And he's literally gone into like the lion's den and he's facing all these lions. And have a watch of how this leftist dingbat tries to have her gotcha moment, but Nigel just turns it around in the best way and obliterates and destroys her. Not only that, but I think humiliates everyone in the audience all at once. Have a watch.
You also run you are online on a website called Cameo where you'll record paid shorts of you doing roasts or pep talks for people. I was just wondering, your cheapest ones you do are £70. If I paid you £70 now, would you admit that this country would be nothing without our rich history of immigration?
Well, I tell you what. And this is what's gone wrong. Because you talk about immigration, and it ran from after the war up until the millennium at net 30 to 40,000 a year. And yes, it worked. In fact, we had the most successful immigration policies of any country in the whole of Europe. No question. Now, it is so totally out of control. Just think about this. 2.5 million people have come in the last 2 years. You wonder why you can't get a house. You wonder why your rents have gone up 25% in 4 years. You wonder why our infrastructure is struggling. You wonder why, we have to build a new house every 2 minutes just to cope with the numbers. And that's the issue. It's now running at numbers that are literally unimaginable and are diminishing the quality of life of everybody in this country. And frankly, this should be the biggest issue of this election.
Biggest issue of the election in the UK is immigration, because rent's gone up, housing's gone up, crime's gone up, inflation is at its all-time high. Things are happening at a very nasty and rapid rate over in the UK. And the UK is not a very big country, I'll have you know. It's a rather small island country. And it's kind of crazy to see how many people are coming in at the rate they're coming in, and the level that the UK is actually struggling. More millionaires and billionaires have left the UK. You know why? The policies in the UK not being able to afford certain things because inflation is so damn high, taxes are so damn high. The government is an absolute mess. Keir Starmer is doing nothing good for the country, and people are flooding over to Reform UK, albeit a lot have left because of Nigel's stance on Tommy Robinson, because so many people support Tommy. If they decided to settle their differences and came together on the biggest issue, which Tommy speaks a lot about, the immigration issue, which they've got a lot more in common than not, then I think, mate, honestly, I think the UK could really be changed and reformed for the best possible version of the UK we've seen in a very, very long time. I honestly believe that, because if you got Tommy's supporters versus Nigel and his supporters all coming together and rallying and uniting the UK, imagine what that can do. I don't care, Nigel, if you think that Tommy is a football hooligan or made some mistakes in his past. That doesn't matter. That should not matter. What should matter is the future of the UK, because at the moment, the UK is in absolute dire state. You said so yourself. It is in a terrible way. So what are you going to be? Are you going to be an actual UK citizen and help out the people of the UK? Or are you going to be one of those other stupid bloody politicians that just says it how you want people to feel, and that's it? You do nothing to help. Because I'm sick and tired of politicians. And the reason why people love Tommy is because he's a man of the people, for the people and by the people. He wants to help the people. What do you want to do, Farage? You say immigration's out of control. You say you want to help. You say you want to reform the UK. Well, the only way you're really going to do that is if you lower your pride for just 5 seconds and realize just how important Tommy Robinson can be to your cause. Just think about it. I don't think you're really watching this, but anyway, if you end up watching this, hopefully you can settle your differences with Tommy, because he's rotting in solitary confinement at the moment for something he should not be rotting in solitary confinement for. Even you should see it's wrong what's happened to Tommy, even though you've denied it and you've attacked him countless times. Anyway, let's hope that you're truly for helping the people of the UK. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, you be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.